The film that I will be reviewing for Assessment 1 is the Opium War. Firstly, I will provide a short description of the conflict depicted in the film. Secondly, I will reflect on the meaning and the significance of the film's message in relation to war. Then I will conclude with a short analysis of how my chosen companion reading influenced my viewing of the film. The Opium War is a war film that provides a victimized account of the First Opium War. Set mostly in Gansu, China, it depicts the historical conflict between the Qing dynasty and the British Empire. From the viewpoint of the Chinese, the film portrays the West as greedy and irrational in their determination to allow for opium trade, as opium addiction was destroying the lives of the Chinese people. The film illustrates the corruption of the officials in the Qing dynasty. This corruption allowed for foreign powers to exploit China and as a result allowed for Britain to assert itself over China, therefore portraying China as the weak, humiliated victim. As a result, the film brings to light the underlying cause of the decline of China. The Opium War film draws a connection to the realities of China during the Qing dynasty. Corruption and bribery scenes in the film strives for accuracy in depicting the attitudes of the corrupt general officials that allowed the British to continue trading in return for drugs and bribes. The destructive effects of their use of opium is also demonstrated throughout the film, where the film deliberately focuses on the suffering experiences of the consumption of opium. This creates a factual representation of the unauthorized and negative effects of opium addiction, leading to social destruction. Drawing on real emotions experienced during the war, it contributed to the film's attempt to create a factual representation of the suffering and struggles endured during the Opium War. Overall, the film calls for the attention to the political, moral struggles of the Chinese leaders and the unjust economic and military battle between Britain and China. Strong significance is applied to the victimization of the Chinese people, showing the atrocities of the war and unfair agreements forced to make with the British Empire. The Opium War film solidifies the victim narrative of the Chinese people, highlighting the economic and military strength of the British compared to China's incompetent army and limited resources. The meaning and significance of the film's message in relation to the Opium War sheds light on ideas of the corrupt Qing dynasty, justice, power, and patriotism. It encourages viewers to gain perspective of all sides of history and invites viewers to draw on the dialogue in the film and real events to draw conclusions on how the Opium War came about and its effect on the Chinese. Furthermore, in her works, China Weeps, The Opium Wars and China's Stolen History, Blessing comments on the impact of the Opium War on China's sense of pride and culture. She notes that the Opium War still shapes China's view of the West. Her perspective have enhanced my experience of the film because it has enabled me to identify the impact and draw connections to the destruction of China's image. I was able to identify the imbalance in the economic marketplace and understand why to this day the Opium War marks a hurtful shame in their history.